Hey everybody, my AWOL password here with another video game review. Today we will be diving into Assassin's Creed Mirage. I've been wanting to play this game for a while, and here we are. Overall, I enjoyed the game. This game takes place in between Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Kind of, sort of connects the two in a way, but it does connect Valhalla more than Origins. It is because it kind of gives somewhat of an origin story to Basim that we've seen in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This game takes place in ninth century Baghdad. So however many years that is from Valhalla, I think a couple hundred prior to Valhalla. But overall, I enjoyed it. I I really appreciated that they went back. I know they stated this already. Ubisoft said that this game was going to be smaller. Its intentions is to go back to the older Assassin's Creed games in terms of its roots and core mechanics and assassinness. It is on the same engine as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but gameplay wise, um, smaller map, not a lot of side quests and a lot of collectibles. Mainly just a main story. There are some side stuff. There are contracts that you can do, that you can fulfill, but mainly it's just storyline, um, a few collectibles, some side stuff, and that's about it. So I'm really happy that they went back to its in terms of sizing, went back to the older games to make it smaller. It took me about 15 to I think about 16 and some change. So in the range of going casual 15 to 20. Um so I I really enjoyed it. They It was definitely it felt more like an OG Assassin's Creed game too, because they did the same thing with its stealth. It's a lot more tactical. You don't just like an Odyssey and Valhalla, you just run in and gun and clear enemies out. Here in Mirage, it's you definitely feel like you have more of a stealth approach. There's a lot more tactics that go in planning, to figuring out what you're going to do, um, and mainly staying in the stealth mode, for the most part. That does give you the option to also run in and gun, but they almost made it balanced where they made it a lot harder to run in and gun unless you put it down to like super easy difficulty or something. Um, Combat wise, in it is kind of like Origins in a way. Not everything's just auto attack and kill and all that stuff. Like you actually have to time your attacks. You have to um you have to parry. You have to like aim. Like it's not auto aim, auto attack, boom. There's actually some you actually have to have a tactical advantage in defensive stuff to do that. Um, when you do get um in there, notoriety was pretty cool. At first I hated it because your notoriety, like in the older games, your notoriety doesn't really go. It kind of goes down automatically. In this game, it doesn't. The only way to really reduce notoriety is there's wanted posters around um that you tear down, and that reduces a level of that, or bribing like a public speaker or a musician or whatever to um lower or distract your guards. But it doesn't automatically just go down like a lot of the games do when you become anonymous for a time being. um they will still keep your guard and all that stuff. Um, but overall, I enjoyed it. I do have my dislikes. I think there's only a couple of dislikes or that I've have so far. Nothing with story or writing. Story and writing were good. It wasn't the greatest writing in the world, but there was a lot of build up. And I think there was too much build up, and they threw everything in how it connects to the Assassin's Creed universe and lore at the end, which is normal storytelling. So I think it does the job and it's good. It's nothing special. It's not bad, but it's not like, oh, this is the greatest story ever. But it's good. Um, it does connect to Mirage very well, and it does start making a lot of sense when you reach that I guess the climax. Um, but my dislikes about the game, I there were two main ones, and they're both like performance wise. I think one is there was something weird with the graphics, which should have been like flipped for me. That um, when I'm not in stealth, like when I'm free roaming or doing assassin stuff and all that, that doesn't require stealth, the border of the screen or of your game or whatever screen you're on, like blurs out. It not blurs out, but like there's a slight blur. Um, like in the middle of the screen, the more you get to the middle of the screen, the more it looks normal, and then like the corners and edges of the game kind of just like blurs out when you're non-stealth. But then when you're in stealth, like all the blur and all like the graphic fidelity gets sharper and more visually pleasing when you are in stealth. I noticed that, and I wish it was flipped, and it was kind of like it was just weird for me. Like I noticed it right off the bat. Performance wise, it was, I think it was optimized. I barely had, maybe I had one or two frame drops, but most of my experience, stable 60 frames. Um, I'm playing at 1080 60. It was stable across the board. Playing at max settings with FSR on. Um, my other big complaint was, or dislike, the the free running. The free running felt very rigid, and it didn't feel like it flowed. There were other Assassin's Creed games that was very smooth and very flowy, and you felt like you were doing like really good parkour. This one was very average. Like it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. I I always felt like there was like a split second delay from grabbing ledges and jumping jumping from building to building, or trying to climb up or climb down somewhere. Um, so it just felt it just felt off, but it got the job done. Um, yeah, other than that, I didn't really have any complaints. I don't think there's gonna be like expansions, because this is kind of more of like a plot hole filler. It's kind of in between two games, so it's not like you already know what's gonna happen. You already know what would happen prior. I'm really happy that they just stuck with one main game, maybe a couple quests and free updates. I know there's an update coming out this month later. But anyways, that is it for my review. Overall, I give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. Um, great game. I can't wait for the next Assassin's Creed game, which will be taking place in Japan, with ninjas and all that stuff, and that's what everybody wanted. But go follow my socials. Drop a link in, or drop a follow on Twitch. Join the Discord, get live updates, see when I go live. Subscribe and like to my YouTube videos. Drop a comment on what you liked or didn't like. All that good stuff. I do a lot of cringe game reviews on here, so go check those other guys out. I'll put those links down in the description below, and we'll go from there. But I will see you all in the next video. So, adios.